Hi there, Year 4. Welcome to day 4 of your maths learning this week. Well done for getting this far. Today I'm going to talk you through the lesson. There's a few fun number games to get your brains warmed up to start with, and then we're going to be looking at some negative numbers in a bit of a puzzle. So you can follow it here with me. You can open the remote learning sheet and have that next to you too, and I'll give you plenty of time to work on each activity and then press pause, and then we'll mark the answers together. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start this morning with a couple of number games, number challenges to get our brains warmed up. So, challenge 1, have a think about this. I am thinking of a number. My number is between 20 and 30. So top tip, get a piece of paper now, write down all the numbers that are between 20 and 30. Okay, next clue, my number is odd. So top tip, cross out all of the even numbers that you've written down. Next clue, its tens digit is half of 40. So have a think about it. What is half of 40? That number is in the tens column. It's the tens digit. Next clue. Its digits have a total of 3, which means when you add them together, the answer, the total is 3. What is my number? Press pause, work it out now. Did you get it? We'll have a look at the answer in just a moment's time. Let's have a look at another puzzle first. Okay, here's our second puzzle. Sam runs around her garden 7 times. Altogether, she runs 280 metres. What is the perimeter of Sam's garden? Well, let's imagine that this is Sam's garden here. It doesn't really matter what shape it is. This is Sam's garden. Okay, we're trying to work out, here's Sam, just a stick. We're trying to work out the perimeter of Sam's garden. That means the distance all the way around the edge here and then back to the beginning. Okay, we know that when she runs around her garden 7 times, she's run a total of 280 metres. So what's the perimeter of the garden, which means what's the total if she were to only run around her garden 1 time? Okay, 7 times is 280, so what would 1 time be? Press pause, have a think about your answer now. Okay, well done. Let's look at the answer in a moment. Just one more challenge to think about first. Well, it's actually 2, because I've got 2 magic squares here. The first one, the only clue I'm giving you really is that the sum of each row, that means the total when you add them together, is the same as the sum of each diagonal. So if you went this way, it's the same total. And if you went this way, it's the same total. So these 3 numbers will equal the same. These 3 numbers will equal the same, and these 3 numbers will equal the same. Can you work out what the missing numbers in the square should be? You're going to have to draw this one out, spend some time. You might need to do a bit of trial and error until you get there. So press pause now, have a think about that one. And our final little warm-up challenge this morning is this challenge down here. I've got another magic square for you, only this time it's full of symbols. You've got some circles, some stars and some triangles. You know that along this row here, the total of these 4 shapes added together equals 16. These 4 shapes added together equals 14. These 4 shapes equal 16. And these 4 shapes equal 20. But can you work out the value of one of each type of shape? So what's the value of 1 circle? What's the value of 1 star? What's the value of 1 triangle? My top tip to you is this. This bottom row here is the easiest place to start because you've got 4 stars and you know that 4 stars equals 20. So you can easily work out what must one star be. If 4 of them is 20, one of them must be worth what? That's going to give you your first answer. And from there, you will be able to work out the rest. I would then move on to this row next, here, and have a look at that one. Okay, press pause now, have a little work through that, and we will go over the answers in a moment. Okay, how did you get on with all of those? Here's your answers, guys. That very first puzzle we did when I was thinking of a number, the number I was thinking of was 21. If you did all of these tasks in order, process of elimination, you would have ended up with 21. The second question about Sam's garden, what you should have done was you should have taken the 280 and divided it by 7. An easy way to do that is take the 0 off the 280. Think of it as 28. And then you can ask yourself, how many 7s are there in 28? If you know your 7 times table, you know the answer to that is 4. But it's got a 0 on the question, so you need to put your 0 on the answer. So it's not 4, it's actually 40. Here's the solution to your first magic square. Did you manage to get it? Have a look now, mark your answers. And down here is the solution to your second magic square. Here's the value of the shapes. The circle was worth 3, the star was worth 5, the triangle was worth 4. Those are some puzzles to get you warmed up. It might have taken you quite a while to do those because they were quite tricky. So you might need a little rest now or a little walk around the house before we come back to the next challenge of the day, which is all to do with negative numbers. So when you're ready, let's move on together. Okay, we're going to look at this problem together now. It's called Alex the Delivery Man. It's all to do with negative numbers. Okay, Alex has 10 parcels to deliver in a block of flats. The deliveries need to be made in a certain order, depending on when people are home. The flats have floors above and below ground level. As Alex delivers, mark the floors he visits in the order that he makes the deliveries. Remember to use the negative value to mark the basement floors. Okay, so next we're going to see all of the deliveries he has to make, and you're going to mark the ones he makes in the order that he makes them. So let's have a look. Okay. So number 1, firstly, it says Alex starts on the ground floor. That's floor 0. So you need to find floor 0 on your sheet. It's right here. Okay. His first delivery is on floor 2. So on your sheet, I'll do the first couple with you and then you can have a go yourself. You're going to find floor 2. So if this is floor 0 and floor 2 is going to be above it, it's going to be 2 above it, this would be floor 1, this would be floor 2, so we can label it floor 2. And where it says order, that means when did he deliver to floor 2? Well, he did that first. That's the very first thing he did. So that gets number 1 in it there. Okay, so I'm just going to tick this one because we've done that part there. Let's do number 2 together, and then you can press pause and go and work on this by yourself. So it says number 2, he then goes down 4 floors. So he's here at floor 2 and he goes down 4. So let's count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4. He ends up on this floor here. So this is his second order, which is delivered here. And we can work out which floor it is by looking above. If this is 0 and it's going down, this floor must be -1 and this floor must be -2. Okay, I've done this one here. Now press pause now and carry on working through Alex's deliveries and mark them off on your chart as you go. Don't forget, for number 3, you're starting here now on floor -2 because that's the last place you've delivered a parcel. So start at floor -2 and then carry on with the next lot of instructions. We'll mark them in a moment together. Okay, done that? Brilliant. Here's the answers above to all the different floors and the order that Alex delivered them in. So you can see we started off here. The very first order was here on floor 2. We did that one together. The second order was in floor -2, which we did. Then he went to -5. Then he went all the way up to 5. Then he went down to floor -1. Then he went up to floor 4. Next he went to floor -3. After that he went up to floor 1. Then he went down again to floor -4. Yeah. And then finally he went back up to the top and ended on floor 6. That was his 10th delivery. How did you do? Did you get these ones? It was quite fiddly, wasn't it? And hard to think about. I hope you did okay there. Now there is a super challenge question to go with this puzzle. So have a look at it here. Have a go. Let's have a look at it together. It says, if he starts and finishes his round at floor 0, so that's here, which means he has to start here and finish here, okay? How many floors has Alex either stopped at or travelled past on his delivery round today? Well, that's going to be a lot of floors because he started off going up 2, so that's 2 to start with. Then he went down 3, 4, 5, 6. Then he went down again 7, 8, 9. Then he went all the way up here 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That was order number 4, etc. Press pause and see if you can count up all together. How many floors did he either stop at or travel past if he began at floor 0 and finished at floor 0? That was tricky, wasn't it? Your answer was 55 floors. That's a lot of upping and downing. So the second part of the super challenge asks you this. Alex thinks he could have done his round by travelling to fewer floors. Do you agree? Could he have done it in less travel time, less floors? You've got to give a reason for your answer. Have a think about that. How could he have done it quicker? Press pause now, write down your answer, and we'll mark it together in a moment. Okay, hopefully you had to think about that. Well, here's the answer really. If he started at the ground floor, that's floor 0, and went up to the floors he had parcels for, he'd go to floors 1, 2, 4 and 5, which means that he'd either stop or pass 6 floors altogether. Okay. If he went down to basement level -5, he would travel past 11 floors. If he then delivered to floors -4, -3, -2, -1 and finished back on the ground floor, he would have visited another 5. So if he did it in this order here, he would have done 6 plus 11 plus 5, which meant he could have done all his deliveries in just 22 floors instead of 55, which he actually did. So the answer is yes, he could have done it quicker. He could have done it in 22 floors. This was quite a hard challenge. I hope you did okay. If you found that too tricky to work out, don't worry about it. It's all good practice to be thinking about negative numbers in this way. Okay, that's the end of lesson 4 today. Well done, year 4. You did really, really well. Hope you enjoyed it. It's lesson 5 tomorrow. Keep going, keep up the good work, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.